Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to, I think, the first live stream of 2026. I missed you all, even those of you that suck. If you're watching this in the future and it's not live, what you should do is go ahead and skip ahead till probably about the 10-minute mark or so, because we're going to do stuff that won't be a lot of fun for you if you're not here live, because, well, you had other things to do apparently. So, what I would like to ask you at this time is how my picture and sound quality is. Hopefully, it's okay. I've had some technical difficulties today, so I don't know how good it's going to be, but it looks like it should be okay so far. Supreme SEO, is that Rafad? Is that a different Supreme SEO? Anyway, hello, Supreme SEO. Oh, God, don't tell me it's going to start lagging on me. Looking good and sounding good. Okay. All good, good. Hopefully it stays that way. I am not optimistic. Relax Yourself is here. Hello, 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 Rafad. Yes, Rafad. Good, good, good. So let me close this. I'm trying to get as few things open as possible because it seems like that makes a big difference. I feel like I'm pausing some though. We'll see. Good Lord, the spam calls today. All right. Look good. I'm not. All right. So I'll give it another minute or two and then we'll do a quick merch giveaway. And then we will. You can tell I'm out of practice, right? I'm like losing my train of thought quite a bit. Yes. In a minute or two, we will do a merch giveaway and then we will get into it. And at the end, I'll give away some software. So that's it. Audio fine, video fine. Thank you, Buyer Gain. Nee says everything is very good. Why, thank you, Nee. Kima something or another says I have to step away. Will this be? It will stay on. Yes, it will. So wherever you're watching, you'll be able to watch it later. It's not for a second or so. Not sure why. Yeah, I'm noticing that too. Hopefully, it's not too bad. Like, hopefully, it doesn't get worse or anything like that. I probably should have learned my lesson and stayed in 1080p, but I got greedy and went to 4K, and I have a feeling that's the problem. But overall, it seems to be okay. Salman says, hello. Hello, Salman. All right, in about 2 minutes, we'll do the merch giveaway. So let me go ahead and get that configured while we're waiting. Shop and stream giveaway. Keith says, hey, Chris. Hello, Keith. Shruti says hello. Let me see if I can put the comments on the stage. Yeah, there we go. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Hold on. All right. So, all righty. We will give it, let me get this set up. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so we can get into this because we've got a lot to cover. And, well, frankly, I kind of don't want to be on camera. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right, I know it's a bit hard to see because of the Zoom, but let me know if you can see. That made it worse, didn't it? Yeah, it's because, you know, my, I wonder if this will help. No, it won't. Hold on. That seems like it's a little bit better. All right, so what we're going to do is give away some legit merch. Now, legit merch is, well, it's merchandise from Legit. So basically, you're going to go over to shop.legit.com and you'll see, let me turn this off because it's in the way. You'll see different t-shirts, mugs. There's a sticker. There's some magnets, a backpack, Katy Perry. No, actually, it's a cap. You don't get to have the Katy Perry look-alike. clock, and some other things. And what I'm going to ask you to do in just a second here is enter in the word vibe in the chat or in the comments or whatever it is, wherever you're watching. And then we will go for 5 minutes. And at the end, we'll choose one winner who will get to pick a piece of legit merch that they own or that they want. Kibozing, which is Alexis. Hello, Alexis. Wow, new collection. I don't know what that's about. Oh, you mean the merch store? Yeah, yeah. Web3 legend. Is that Matt? Maybe. Work. Nee. Hello, Nee. Who else? We got Sky Crypto 7. Let's put this comments back on the stage now. Relax yourself. We got Rana, Video Watcher. Well, that's appropriate. Shruti, I think I already said hello to you. And right, what we're doing right now is giving away some legit merch. And I'm proud of myself for finally finding a way to make this visible, like on the screen without having to zoom in. And all I did was not full screen my browser. So, you know, sometimes the obvious solutions are the right ones. Capel or Kalpetkov. Oh, Cal. Okay. Hey, Cal. Took me a second to work through that. Afnon, we got Lionheart. That was a good movie. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Showing my age there. Me really trying to win that merchandise. Me. Candleman 78. Is that the year you were born? Because that's the same year I was born. Let's see. Same handful of people, but are trying to win the merch today. They're going hard in the paint or something. I should really not try to be cool. King Wagme. Hello, King. All right, we got about 2 minutes left. Rafad joining from a couple different accounts. My man trying to get that merch. Cardona is the future. Cardona, I believe, is a crypto. Not my area of expertise, although I've made a few coins from it. All right, couple minutes left. I don't know exactly because the Windows 11 clock doesn't show you the seconds. And we go ahead and get that complaint, that one complaint minimum per stream out of the way. And in just a minute or two, the software will choose a winner. Pretty good ratio. In fact, we have more entries than we do people on. So that's kind of cool. If you came here through the message I sent you on Facebook Messenger, please let me know. It's a new marketing strategy that I'm trying, and I'm hoping that it works because working is better than not working. That's the kind of brilliant business insight you can expect here on the channel. Working is better than not working. Couple minutes left. And we'll choose our winner. Well, actually, less than a couple minutes left. Jennifer, 1698. Hello, Jennifer. Wow, 35. That jumped quite a bit in the last minute since I was responding to a message. Xbox 98. Funny Buta. All right. Few seconds left. If you are joining us from the future, hello. Glad to have some time travelers here. If I was going to travel in time, I'd probably like stop the Kennedy assassination or something, but you do you. All right. Time's up. Please stop saying vibe. The winner is Og Life. Og Life, congratulations. What you're going to do, my friend, is go over to shop.legit.com. You're going to look through the different items and choose what you want. And then what you're going to do is come over to Legit Prime, which is legit.com. And what you'll do there is just click this bubble down here and click customer support. I did not come. Oh, right. Intercom, the software we use for customer support is down right now, but give it some time, come back, message customer support. You can also email help@legit.com. And I lost my train of thought. And they will tell them that you won, tell them what you want, tell them your mailing address. And if it's a clothing item, tell them your size, and they will hook you right on up. So right now the on-site support chat isn't working because Intercom, the software we use, is down, but that's it. So let's move on. So congratulations once more, Og Life. I will leave that there. So what we're going to be talking about today is, let me see if I can, and that's a little bit harder to see, but it's a little easier for me to work with that way. So we'll pivot here in a moment. So the premise, if you will, of this live stream was to show you some apps. And when I say apps, I don't mean mobile apps. I mean like online apps, like softwares as a service, SaaS, that I've made recently with vibe coding, which is a term for building things with AI rather than writing the code manually. And this is something I've been doing for over a year. Some of you that have been around for a while have seen me do it before, but you can see I have built a lot of stuff. This isn't even all of it. I have given up on some of it and deleted some of it, but yeah. So first things first, I want to show you some of the ones that I have built recently. And then what I'll try to do is come up with an idea of something that we can at least start here on the live stream and kind of walk you through my thought process and how I go about getting these things started. And then we will move on. Sound good to everyone? Don't care if it doesn't, because that's what we're doing. So the first one I built is linkmagnet.ai. Now what this does is goes out and does a deep research report on any topic that you put in. Let me sign out and log into a different account. And then it creates it into a blog post and that you can post on your website. And because it's such deep research and good citations and statistics and things like that, what it'll do is start attracting links naturally, the way the white hats love to do it. So let me do that so you can see it better. So I've already run one. I'll show you how it works real quick. You could click new topic ideas if you want, and then just put in your business information and click suggest topics, or you can come up with ones on your own. I always add this because people they can't think of things on their own. Let's see if I wanted to do Core Web Vitals 2.0, predicting Google's next generation of user experience metrics, the SEO impact, local SEO power play, dominating hyperlocal. That sounds like a good one. So you would just enter in that, and then you click generate research report. Now this can take a long time because these are really, really deep. They can take up to an hour sometimes. Here's one I did yesterday. So, because I knew I was going to do this stream and I wanted to demonstrate, but you can see this is really deep, really well formatted. It has, contextual citations of the sources that it used. It's got tables. It's got some decent look. I mean, they're AI images, so, quality isn't always perfect, but I think that looks pretty good. And, it's very, very long, very in depth. And what you could do is either sell this as a service, I'll do deep research for your brand or business or topic, or you can post it on your website as a blog and get attract some regular links. And you can publish it to WordPress. You can copy the HTML. You can download the research itself. You can download the HTML. You can download it in Word, or you can download it in PDF. This doesn't work too well just yet, but that's that. And that's that one is Link Magnet AI. I built that all with AI myself, and that's that one. So let's move on. The next one is Listicle Launcher. Now, if you're doing any kind of AI SEO or AEO or GEO or whatever the hell we end up deciding to call it as an industry, you'll know that listicles are working really, really well right now. So a listicle, and just in case you don't know, is top X or the best Y of Z type of thing. So the way this one works is just that. You'll put in something, let's just do it. So you can just click start generating, put in your brand name, put in the topic, and best SEO live streamers, or you can do suggest. I don't think live streamers is a word, but hold on. Let's see. I don't even know if this is going to, I cannot type, good God. Or you could do the same thing as before and just generate it yourself. But we're going to do it this way. You can choose the number of listicles you want, up to 10 items per listicle. I'm just going to do 5 to keep it simple. You can choose the word count from 500 to 2,000. I'll just leave it at 800. The tone, the where you want your brand to be in the list. More often than not, you're going to want it at number 1, but you never know. You can do a featured image or 2 images or images for all of them. I'm going to do this one so you can kind of see it. Choose the photo style. I'd use photorealistic, and then you can click generate listicles. And what this is going to do is, well, it's going to generate a listicle. And that'll allow you to either export it or post it directly to WordPress or whatever. And again, I built this one entirely with AI. And this one's been really, really popular because it helps influence both regular SEO and AI SEO. And we'll give that a minute or two. The images are what make this take so long. The post itself actually gets done pretty quickly. So while that's doing that, we'll move on to the next one. The next one is Listicle Hunter. So what this does is goes out and this one's free, by the way. Goes out and finds listicles that already exist, so you can, and finds their contact information, so you can hopefully get. I lost my train of thought. So you can hopefully get like link inserts in those listicles or a guest post on that site. So let me log in. I'm already logged in. So basically, you enter in a keyword, SEO marketplaces. Click search, and it'll find listicles that already exist. So 10 best freelance market. I happen to know I already have a link on this one and this one. 10 best. See, this would be one I might want to get a link on. So let's see what it looks like. 10 best marketplaces for buying SEO links. I've never heard of most of those. Well, I've heard of WhitePress and iCopify. But see, this is one I would want to get a legit listed in. So all I would have to do is click find contacts. And now it's not always going to be able to find them all, but and then see, not good contact information, but if the email was available, it would do it. So let's see, Con IT. I think I'm already getting one there. I'm just going to click one to see if I can find an example. But you get the idea, right? Then you just email them and say, I'd like to be included in your article, or I'd like to get a guest post on your site. What's the price? Things like that. So just a real easy way to find listicles that are already existing that you can get links in. Let's see if this is finished. Yes. So best SEO live streamers to follow for practical search marketing tips. See, that's a decent looking image for it being AI. It's using Nano Banana Pro. Legit live streams with Chris M. Walker. Hey, it shows that's not me, but that's not bad. Again, you could replace it with your own images if you wanted. Legit host regular live streams. Aleda, so that looks much more like Aleda than this does like me, but it doesn't look like her. Kevin Indig, Lily Ray, John Mueller, and then you can put in a blog and just post it to it. So let's choose this one. Continue to publishing. I tried to have it post to LinkedIn and Medium and stuff like that, but it was too difficult. So we'll wait for a second for that to finish and view post. And there you go, right there live on your blog. You might have to tweak the formatting depending on your particular blog. But anyway, that's that one. That's that one. Let's close these. I have a habit of leaving too many tabs open. Now, this is one that I just launched yesterday, and it might be why some of you are here today, because I sent you a message through Messenger on it. But this one is LLM links. Now, what this does is you put in a prompt that you would also put into ChatGPT, and it will extract the sources that it used to find those prompts. Like if you look on the on the right hand side in ChatGPT, it'll do that, and then it'll find contact information for them, so you can again try to get link inserts or guest posts on those same sites because they're already proven that ChatGPT is citing them. So let's check this one out. Remove this, reset the zoom. All right, so best SEO marketplaces. Suppose that's a prompt that I would like to show up for in ChatGPT. So we'll click search. So this is doing is it's prompting OpenAI with that prompt, best SEO marketplaces. And what it's going to do in a second here is return the sources that it used to do that. And it'll also grab the contact information of them. So if it could find their LinkedIn and things like that, it would include that too. So I think I already am in this one, but suppose that I wanted to show up in this particular article because it's already being cited by ChatGPT. I would do that. There we go. So all I would have to do then is contact them and ask them for a link insert or a guest post. Let's see, you get the idea, right? It just gives you the list, and you can export it as well if you want to do that. But yeah, I think this one doesn't actually even exist. Yeah, that page isn't found, but for whatever reason, ChatGPT is citing it. But anyway, that's what that does. That helps you with this one. I mean, oh yeah, that's me. Yeah, so these are being cited by ChatGPT, and then if you can get a link insert in those, it will help you show up in the ChatGPT results. So, and of course, there's Reddit and there's so on. So you could also slide into these conversations and try to low key drop your brand name in there. So Grumpy SEO is not a marketplace or. Anyway, you get the idea, right? It finds the sources and gets you the contact information. So that one is llmlinks.ai. This one is not live yet, but it's a keyword research tool that I'm working on to help you find easy to rank for keywords. So let me just sign in. This one, I'm not going to give you the link to because it's not ready yet. But once it is, I will do that. So let's say first of all, let's continue our SEO marketplaces example. The dashboard will tell you if it's worth pursuing. And this is still a work in progress. So some things are not going to be 100% on it yet. Like it doesn't pull in the DA and things like that, but it'll show you some of the, some of the sites that are working for that. It'll tell you why it's a weak site. So this panel gives you an idea if you want to pursue this particular keyword. And then you can come over to Keyword Finder and go SEO marketplaces and click generate. uh, Alexis says, sounds like you can also configure the prompts to create a leads finder for local. Yeah, I mean, I would need a bit more specifics on what you're thinking, but yeah, put that in there and maybe we'll try to build that after we get done with all these. And you see, it goes and again, I'm not super thrilled with the results yet, but basically what this does is it shows you some keywords you could go, because this is obviously, I'm not going to try to rank for Fiverr, but there are some things here that best SEO marketplace, that might be one worth doing and so on. So then what you can do, and this, like I said, this is one's not that good. It also shows you suggestions. So this is like from Google autocomplete and things like that. Or it shows you questions. So is SEO worth it anymore? What is marketplace SEO? It's the 80-20 rule for SEO. What SEO platform is best? I'll show you how to do these two now. So what you can do then is add as many of these as you want. I'm just going to click all of them for the sake of showing it and click snapshot selected. Manik says, hey, Chris, how are you doing? I'm great. Thank you, Manik. So this is going to take a minute or two. So we'll come back to that in just a minute. The next one, I think that's the last one, is X content profiler. This one did not do well. I mean, it works well, but it kind of flopped when I like pushed it out to my audience, which I kind of expected because I have kind of mostly an SEO audience and this is more of a copywriting tool, but I was really happy with the design on this one. I think it came out in a really like cool looking format. Anyhow, I'll put this one in the chat and then I'll walk through how it works. So what this does is it creates personas based on X posts that are popular that you can use to create custom GPTs to write copy for you. So let's create one. Let's do SaaS. And let's go with SaaS. And then what you do is you put in your own X profile. And then you can, again, it can suggest some for you, or you can put in some, let me see if I want to do one because this can take a long time. Can't remember his handle. All right. So this particular X profile I know is big on SaaS. And then you can put in the minimum number of likes that it looks, because what it's going to do is go look for tweets that were popular on that topic. And you can put the minimum number of likes on that topic. I usually set it at 1,000 and you can pull however many tweets you want. But let's just generate a context profile. And let's go back here. And this is going to take a few minutes. So let's come back to this. So yeah, this is still loading too. So this will take 2 or 3 minutes. Trades after work 1041. Chris, do you have a course that I could buy, or I don't know what Omega is, but yes, I do have a community that I have with my friends Gregory Ortiz and Greg Morrison, and we do cover vibe coding. In fact, which one was it? LLM links. I actually did that over the shoulder just the other day in there. So you can just go to superstarseo.com/AMS and join there. And it's on SEO, it's on AI, it's on vibe coding, it's on AEO, and so on. So you just go there, superstarseo.com/AMS. And both of these are still processed. This one is getting close. It's hard to tell on this one. So we'll give this another minute or two. If there's any questions, this is a good time to ask them. And once these two get done, I will then try to build something live. I don't know if we'll get finished with it because it can take a while, but yeah. Probably Omega Indexer. Maybe. I am not involved with Omega Indexer. Ironically, my one of my partners in AMS, which is on your screen right now, is one of the co-owners, Gregory Ortiz. Thanks everyone for being here. Clearly, this is a topic with some interest, so I am definitely going to do more content on this because I like attention. So it is what it is. Like, I'm not going to pretend like I'm completely out. I am altruistic, but not completely. All right. Oh, and it's ready. So we'll click here. Is this your flagship course at the moment? Yes, it is. It's the only one I have, really. I mean, I have some like one-off ones, but see what this did is it analyzed a bunch of different tweets, and I don't really have any with 1,000 likes on the topic of SaaS, but it looked for his 5 best tweets on the topic of SaaS that had 1,000 likes. And then what it does from there is it creates a style guide. Zoom out. So it looks for content patterns and guidelines, and it's using Grok to do that because, it's X. It show you like the summary, the tone and voice, the structure, the effective hooks, the content angles, the do's, the don'ts. And then what it does is give you system prompts. So what you can do if you wanted to write email that sounds like Mark Liu based on what we found is use that to create a custom GPT, or you can do it for ads or organic or cold DM. So let's just do this one and we'll come over to Chat GPT. And actually we want custom GPT. So why is it so hard to find custom GPTs? Maybe I'm just dense, but like I can never find where I go to like explore GPTs, create, and then what you can do is just Mark Liu SaaS growth organic and put that in as the instructions and just choose 5.2. I always turn this on. I don't know what it does. And then click create. Click create. And anyone with the link. And so what you can do now is go write me a Twitter post on, I know it's not Twitter anymore, but on how to grow a SaaS from $0 to $500 a month. And it'll create a post showing you exactly, written in his voice, based on things that he said, doing exactly what you asked it to. So this is just a really, really quick way to write content that is proven to work based on whatever. So there's that. Let's come back to this. Is it done? Yes. So now what we can do is click generate clusters. Did I put X content profiler? I did. Okay. And you see this one gives you some example clusters that you can make. So SEO marketplaces list, and then you can go create clusters based on these topics. Eventually, I'm going to have it be able to write the content for you. I haven't gotten that far yet. And you can also look at competition. So it'll tell you which sites are your competition basically for that term. So Reddit, SEO Clerks, legit. Hi. And so on. So this one's going to be really fun. This one is not going to be as cheap as the others, but that's it. So those are some of the ones I've created recently. I wanted to show you that in the first half of the live stream to show you what was possible. So what we'll do next is go ahead and create one. So give me a moment to catch up on questions. Is this your flagship course at the moment? Yes, it is. How can I create my own API and host it? For example, I want to advance the NCA toolkit, host it on a VPS. So I can, that's above my pay grade, unfortunately. I don't know. I'm not a quote unquote real developer. I do vibe coding. I do have a degree in computer programming, and it has done me absolutely fuck all in my life, other than just maybe having a little bit of an understanding. But I don't know, man. I wish I could answer that for you, but that's over my head. Nafiz says hello, boss. Alexis says this is awesome. I've become a believer. Awesome. And if you're wondering why I pronounce Alexis with such distinction, it's because I have an Amazon Echo, and if I am not really clear on that, it starts talking to me. So, alrighty, let's go ahead and do one together. So, oh damn it, I like to use either Gemini or ChatGPT to actually come up with the initial prompt. And by the way, some of you are probably wondering, there's a lot of different vibe coding tools out there. There's Bolt, there's Lovable, there's Cursor, there's Replit, there's Anti-Gravity, there's V0, and there's probably a bunch of others that I'm not thinking of at the moment. Claude Code. This is the one I like. I think it does a really good job of thank you, Claude Code. It does a really good job of integrating a lot of tools, and it's really, really like dummy friendly. And what I mean by that is I don't want to think when I do this. I want to type in stuff and have B44. Yeah. And have it. That's my favorite vitamin as well. That's a joke, but, and have it just do stuff. And they've gotten Lovable to a really good point of doing that. So what is something we can build? Well, Alexis, what was it you suggested? Let me scroll back up. Configure the prompts to create a leads finder for local SEO. I would need a little bit more specifics, but I want to create something here in front of us, at least start something. So somebody give me, and I'd like it to be an SEO tool because, well, I want to be able to sell it, and that's what I have an audience in. So can somebody give me a suggestion on something? If not, I have one in mind, but I'd like to do something popular. So I'll give it 1 or 2 minutes. Suggest what you would like me to build. And kind of like a legit leads lookalike, obviously not as deep. Oh yeah, I mean we could build something like that. Let me see what others are suggesting as well. The real trick is to come up with a sock store. That's not really what I was looking for. Because I would just type that in and say, make a website for a sock store. But it's to come up with a good initial prompt. That will do the bulk. That will be the bulk of it. Alexis, I'd rather not do a lead gen tool because that gets into lots of scrapers and it'll take a long time. Not that it can't be done, because it can, but I want to be able to do this on here, and that it just requires a lot. Let's see. What can we do? I have an idea. Well, actually, it's not my idea, but let's see. We go back to ChatGPT. And what I like to do is if you don't have Pro, do the strongest thinking model that you have. And then I like to, must it be SEO related? It doesn't, I would prefer at least marketing related. But if you have an idea, Terry, drop it in there and I will consider it. But while that's coming through, I like to do, I try Gemini sometimes. Sometimes it does good. Other times it gets like too in depth. So, pick your poison, but turn on the smartest model that you have access to, and then start with deep research or whatever your particular tool calls it. And I'll give it another minute or two for Terry to drop. I don't know what you mean by Empire Network. For Terry to drop in what he's thinking of, or anybody else for that matter. But if not, I'm going to go with something that a member of my team suggested yesterday, and that is Amit Rajdev, a Screaming Frog SEO spider tool to crawl. That's a great tool, but I think it's going to need some scrapers and things like that, which I could totally do, but I wouldn't. It would be too much to do on a live stream because I'd have to go do some research on what like scrapers and things like that we would need to make that work. But that's a great idea. All right, so I'm going to give it till another minute or so, and then I'm going to just go with the idea that Amit gave me. Amit from my team. Create a tool that will help people prepare their presentation and confidence on calls and handling objection as practice. That's a good idea. I would need to, I don't really know how to do that myself. So like, I don't know what that would build, but can you scrape G-Site to produce schema? It looks like you already have I really don't want this idea. I was hoping for something that I could do, but it's easy enough to do on a live stream because I don't want to be here for 3 or 4 hours. Because the idea that I have is also going to be difficult. Help people prepare their presentation and confidence on calls. I'm not sure what that would produce. What about helping people with sales calls, listening to both sides, answering the objections? We would need. How would that work though? Like how would we actually listen to sales calls with an app? You know what I mean? You know what I can do? Yeah, but how could I listen to sales calls with an app is what I'm not getting. And if I'm being dense, please tell me. But can you scrape G-Site to produce schema? I don't know. I really like the Screaming Frog idea. I don't know what. Well, you know what? Let's just try this. It would advance the LLM links then. What other features would you like to see in it? I'd need mic and it would have to have a knowledge base. Yeah, that's a bit more than I don't have the data to make that work. Buyer gain. It's a great idea. I don't have the information, at least not available. Would like to code a. We'll just go with Calvin's idea here. SaaS to be a cloud-based version of the SEO tool Screaming Frog. I would use lovable.dev to build it. That's kind of how you get referenced without is by. You can also create your own listicles and stuff like that. That's what Listicle Launcher is for. But basically, that's kind of how it works. But we're going to go with your screaming frog idea. To build it, it would go out and find technical issues with websites after crawling them. Things it would include, but not be limited to, would include meta tags, broken links, duplicate content, and others. Please think of some ideas of features. It would have a dedicated landing page with a sleek, modern design. It would use basic user auth. It would have a history page so you can see previous scrapes. It would be free and unlimited to begin with. And then there's one other thing I want to add to this, because I learned this the hard way yesterday, and you'll get to reap the benefit of that. So, where is it? One moment, ladies and gentlemen, and Alexis. Yeah. Do not add any features or functionality that I did not ask for. I want to be very clear on the flow. One user enters a website URL. The tool scrapes the website. Let's put crawls the website and looks at all the properties you decide to include in it. It displays that to the user along with suggested fixes. It allows an export of the report, and it stores it in user history. What else can I provide you to make this a success? I need you to research it so I can create the initial lovable, and I would prompt from the research. So then we'll click that. Background check to make sure clients or businesses are credible and in good standing. All right. So now it's going to ask me a few questions. Are you targeting any particular types of? I don't know why it always asks that. Like, what difference does that make? SEO agencies, SEO freelancers, and businesses doing their own SEO. Daniel says, hey, hello, Daniel. Do you want to support crawling for large websites more than 500 pages? Not right now. And I would normally say yes, but I want this to go quickly. Are there specific SEO issue categories you definitely want to include? But let's see. Missing title tags or descriptions. Too long or short. No H1 or duplicate H1. And I want you to come up with additional ideas and include those. I'm not actually using the mic for prompts. I could do that. I'm just saying what I'm typing. Do you want the UI to be responsive for mobile? Oh, Jesus Christ. Yes. Mobile responsive. Do you want the reports to be displayed visually or plain data? Visually. All right. So now we're going to have this research. Now, this might take a little while. Deep research can be fairly lengthy. So what I'm going to do is go through the comments and questions that I overlooked. And I really wish I'd brought some water with me. Can you scrape? Let's see. I've already said that one. I've already looked at that one. Helping people with sales calls. It's a lot. I need to work with them. Lazy. Yes. Sales calls. Can we answer LM links? It would need mic. Yeah. I don't know how to work with hardware. How do we get our sites referenced by ChatGPT without contacting cited guys? Meant like a conversation between you and an AI voice mode. After everything, they're going to rate how well you. Oh, that's a good idea. How about a background check to make sure clients or businesses are credible and in good standing using multiple Google searches? That's a good idea too. Although I feel like you would get a lot of false positives, but yeah, that's a good idea. I do find using the mic faster. Yeah, I do too. I just wanted to show both. Come on, man. Don't start doing this. You. It seems to be going fairly quickly. Deep research is very unpredictable, I guess. Sometimes it'll be, 3 or 4 minutes. Sometimes it'll be an hour. Does anybody have any questions on what we've done so far or what we're doing right now? I can answer those while it's thinking. There's not really much I can do while it's doing this. Excuse me. Hope everyone is off to a good start so far this new year. Daniel, I'm going to ask you to please not keep spamming your legit link in the comments, okay? I appreciate you trying to generate some sales for yourself, but that isn't the way to go about it. And today, that's not what we're talking about, okay? I'd appreciate it. Like, no offense or anything like that. I'm not. In the past, I've gotten really irritated when people do that, but I'm trying to be calmer. So I'm just going to ask you to not do that again, okay? Does that require a paid ChatGPT subscription? I think so. Well, not deep research, but I think the pro model does require the $200 a month one. I'm not sure what the $20 a month one gets you, but ChatGPT Pro model, I think you have to have the pro subscription. I'm not 100% sure because I've had it for so long that like I don't know what comes with what. Yeah, deep research is unpredictable on the time taken, Yeah, well, I guess that makes sense, right? Because it's it's doing whatever it takes, right, to get the research done. So we're about looks like about 35 or 40% of the way through, if I had to guess. And by the way, these sources over here is what where is it? Is what LLM links is pulling in when you put in a prompt. So keep that in mind. I did this. I originally tried to make LLM links with a Gemini initial prompt. And if you are in AMS, you got to see that, or at least you've had the opportunity to see that. And it was a shit show, to be perfectly honest. So that I eventually ended up doing basically this with ChatGPT, and I one-shotted it other than the design. So I do deep research on the free account 5 times per month, though. Oh, cool. This has been such an eye-opener. Thanks for doing this. I can't wait to start messing around with this and arguing with ChatGPT. Yeah, it's so much fun. Like, fair warning, you may not want to work on the rest of your business anymore once you start doing this, and that's okay. Well, I don't know if it's okay, but it's just to be expected. Have you tried GenSpark yet? It's always my go-to for research. ChatGPT, sometimes it feels like it's one-sided. Try to gather opinions before proceeding, either GenSpark or Perplexity. I have not used GenSpark. I've used Perplexity, but I don't really like it that much. I find the interface to be, I don't know. It just, I find it like not appealing to me. And also Perplexity, if I'm not mistaken, is just like, and it's not actually an LLM. It's like an agent with GPT and some others in the background, and then like combining it with web search. I agree with you though that ChatGPT can feel one-sided. That's why I also use Gemini and Claude for various things as well, because ChatGPT in particular, first of all, it tries to be very politically correct, or whatever the correct term for that is these days. And it just, I don't know. It doesn't seem quite as smart as some of the others, you know? So I agree with you, but no, I haven't tried GenSpark. Let me see. To be honest, I don't even really, other than having briefly heard of it, I don't really know much about it. I assume that's it. Oh, very cool. Yeah, I'm going to play around with this one later. I like that card effect. You're a bit behind, Cliff, but thanks for joining us. How's it coming over here? So it looks like we're about maybe 55% or so of the way done. You can see it's actually looking at Screaming Frog to get ideas, and Reddit, because God knows it's always going to be Reddit. All right, we're getting there. And just a quick recap of some of the tools. Link Magnet AI generates huge research reports, and this is the one that we did earlier. So let's take a look at how it turned out. The local SEO power play, dominating hyperlocal markets with advanced GMB optimization and community engagement. And look at how nice this looks, and like how well formatted it is with the inline or contextual citations, the tables. This is like 33,000 words. To be honest, some of these look fairly basic, but you know. Gemini is the dumb one I've tried and concluded it's not interesting. Because I find it to be, depending on the thing, the use case, I find it to be pretty smart. I know about 30% of ChatGPT responses are from Reddit. Yeah, I guess because that's like the only major source of user generated text content left on the internet, other than social media. That looks really good. Yeah, it really does come out looking really good. And you can post this directly to WordPress. I don't do it with this one because my site, the formatting needs some work. But I mean, the images don't look bad. I mean, they're clearly AI images, but as AI images go, they're not bad. But this is something that if you post it to your site, people will link to it naturally because it has data and it's well written and it's in depth and it covers a lot of different aspects of the topic to the point where I like get bored scrolling through it. It's so long. The images aren't bad because Nano Banana Pro is just glorious at creating images. And if you, I don't think I showed this before, but if you scroll to the end, it actually has a bibliography. I think that's what I remember those being called from college. Is that, and it looks like there's a little bit of a formatting issue I need to work out there. And that's not even the big, that's just the references for that section. That's not even the whole references section. So you could also, like I say, just sell this. Like it's $5 a month, this tool. And you could sell this report for, I don't know, $100 and just 20 extra your investment off of one report, you know? So just try to be creative. All right. So the research is done. Now, unfortunately, this isn't exactly what we need to feed into Lovable. So what we need to do now is come down here and say, use that research to create a prompt for lovable.dev to create the project. The formatting is mostly the links escaping the container, and it doesn't always do that. It did in this case, but yeah, I think that came out really, really well. Imagine how long it would take you to write something like this, like even with AI, you know what I mean? Like, I think this is just, I'm really proud of this tool. I'm not going to lie. And this will, we're not doing deep research. So hopefully this won't take as long and then we can start the project. And I know we've already been here over an hour, but it's still a lot of folks here. So we're going to keep at it. And don't forget at the end, I'm going to give away all of the access to all of these, except for the one that's not done yet. Yeah, this one is Listicle Launcher, you know, and you can do, if you want to come up to history, you can see we have, and somebody's working on it right now, actually. I've been going ham, as the kids probably no longer say, on publishing listicles. Like the reason I built this tool to begin with is because I wanted it. Like I needed it for something. And I was like, well, that means that other people will too. So let me just make a few bucks a month on it. So there's that one. And then Listicle Hunter is free. Like all you have to do is put in a topic and it'll find listicles that already exist. So best vibe coding tools. And then you can just click, I mean, you probably won't be able to do it with a Zapier blog or DreamHost, but legit security. If you wanted to get listed in this, crap. Fillout.com. Hopefully we'll find some contact information, but you get the idea. Wix is definitely not going to have it. Yeah, well, there we go. So that one, that's what that does. Is this done yet? No, not yet. So that's Listicle Hunter. And then we have this. I don't think I even showed this one. I think I breezed over it. Let me show you this one. This one I made because I was tired of seeing crappy thumbnails on Legit. So this is like a full thumbnail studio, and you can be like local SEO service #1 guaranteed. And you can upload a photo. Where's a picture of me? And then you can put in some images if you want. Let me see. and then you just generate thumbnail, and you can use that for your legit service, and it'll appear there in a second. It actually does it in real time as well, but of course it's going to take time while doing it live, because why wouldn't it? But this one I made on a whim. See, that looks not bad, right? Like if you, and you can do retry, and I find it gets a little bit cooler looking when you do retry. I spelled guaranteed wrong, but whatever. Let's see, is this done yet? Nope. See, that's not a bad looking thumbnail. It's not perfect, but it's better than a lot. And then it has your picture and it has everything in it. So that's legit thumbnailstudio.com. Eventually this will be integrated directly into Legit itself, but for now we'll go ahead and drop that in the chat. I think I missed that when we went through these initially. Then we got LLM links. Let's see. What's up? SEO live streamers. So what this is going to do is it's going to prompt OpenAI, which is the LLM behind ChatGPT, and see what sources it uses to come up with its answer, and then give you links to those sources as well as people that you can contact. And eventually I'm going to have it like filter out some of these that you can't really benefit from, like Wikipedia. But this one has been really popular, and it's probably what brought some of you here today. So yeah. Is this done yet? No, still going. So the next one was Keyword Finder. This one is not ready for public yet, but I think it's actually pretty close. This is one of the better results I've gotten. At least, I mean, some of these really make a lot of sense, but pretty soon I'm going to release this, I think. I just want to give it some more tweaks and make it ready. And you can create clusters and so on. Then there's X Content Profiler, which uses Twitter, like proven Twitter posts from influencers on particular topics to create prompts for custom GPTs, as well as a style guide for that particular prompt. And that's just, I know that doesn't appeal to SEOs that much, but for creating content, it's just glorious. So hopefully this is ready yet. No, still going. So what this is doing is it's taking the research that we just did and turning that into a prompt that we can use to start our project. So does anybody have any questions on that? I really wish there was somebody here because I need some water badly, and I forgot to get some before the stream. Let me mute for a second, and I'll be right back. If you have some questions, please ask them in the chat here. I'd like to create a blog that will be profitable. Any advice? Time travel. I think it's I don't want to discourage you, but a blog as a main business model is just going to be really, really tough right now. Unless you build it on like Medium or something like that. But if you build it on your own website, it's just going to be years before you make any profit from it because of the way that Google search works right now. Unless you want to use a different traffic source, like you could maybe use Facebook or some sort of organic traffic source. But if you're wanting to use SEO as your traffic source, just be prepared to take years before you make any money from it, because since the helpful content update, it's just not a good way to make online income, at least not as your primary income source, because it just doesn't work like it used to, you know? You always say people on thumbnail leads to might click to their services. Just curious how you gather that data. Just by owning the site, I get to see the services that get the best click-through rate, and then I get to look at the things that they have in common and come up with that's basically the answer. Like owning the platform gives me insights based on different things. And that's one that we noticed by looking at the data. Cloud frog. If I get some traffic, how can I make money? Well, as many ways as you want. Like you can do display ads, you can do affiliate links and affiliate products. You can have your own products. You can pitch your own services. You can sell sponsored posts and guest posts or link insertions once you have enough content. Really, once you have traffic, there's an unlimited number of ways to monetize it. Do you have what kind of niche are you thinking about? If you're thinking about one, like what industry, what niche, what kinds of topics would you talk about? Maybe then I can give you some specific examples. But if you'll excuse me 1 minute, I'm going to take 10 seconds and go grab some water. All right, I'm back and I'm much more properly hydrated now. Yeah, Og Life, I think that help is working now. So let me go. Let me just make sure. Og Life is our merch winner. Yeah, customer support is working now. So just go there and click send us a message. Tell them what you want. Tell them that you won. Tell them your mailing address. And if it's a clothing item, tell them your size and they will ship that right out to you. So just go to legit.com. How do I close this? Click the little support bubble here in the bottom right hand corner and click customer support and send us a message and they will send it right on out to you. Is this done yet? No, good Lord. So my niche is political and AI news. In my country, there are a few of those. Okay. I don't know, man. I think that I would create an info product based on the news, and then I would also use display ads. And where it makes sense, you could probably slide in an affiliate link as well. So, all right, we are ready. So it has generated a prompt that we can use to start our project. And we will do it. So what I'm going to do now is copy the code and come over here to Lovable and paste that in. One thing I want to make sure that I forgot to put this in the prompt, but you want to make sure that it doesn't try to use mock data on you. All right, so let's fire away. Oglife says, got it. Mohammed says, hello. Hello, Mohammed. Calvin says, awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Calvin. So now this will take a few minutes for it to spin up the project, and then we'll go from there. Site Audit Buddy. What a terrible name. All right. Yes, we want to enable Lovable Cloud. If you've been doing these in the past, or if you use a different tool, Lovable Cloud is basically Supabase, but it's like their skin of Supabase that they use. So yeah, we'll click allow. If you don't know what Supabase is, it's like a back end that allows you to have a database and user auth and edge functions and lots of other stuff. And we're just waiting on that to finish thinking. If anyone has any questions or thoughts on what's going on right now, I'm happy to take them. If not, we'll just wait until it finishes and then we'll see where we're at. And this can take anywhere from a few seconds to several minutes. It just depends on the complexity of the project. And I swear to God, AIs have moods. So whatever mood the AI is in. So if anyone has anything to say, that would be wonderful because I'm running out of ways to fill the awkward silence. But if not, that's okay too. I'm so glad that I thought to not maximize the window to make this easier. It's embarrassing how many live streams it took for me to figure that out, but it is what it is. Lots of people sticking around today. So clearly, this is a topic of interest. It's certainly of interest to me. But wait, you can click show all and you can see what it's actually doing to some extent. I'm curious what it's going to have me use for the source of the data for this. Because that's really the big thing with these is that unless you're going to build your own database and your own scrapers and your own tools to actually accumulate the data, you have to use an external source, usually an API of some sort. Once we get some, like at least a decent MVP, do you always let Lovable do the whole design? Have you ever imported a design? So I don't have the design skills to import one myself, but in theory, that would be better. Because I mean, you know, and the Lovable is actually not bad at making designs, although they tend to look very, very similar. But yeah, I mean, if you have design skills, that might be better, at least for the non-functional parts, right? Like for the visible parts. Terry is laughing nervously. I don't know why. Summary card. What's everybody doing for the weekend? I know for some of you, it's already like after 4, I guess, or even later over in the non-US countries. But for me, it's only 1 in the afternoon. So I still have a few hours of my work. I mean, they're all work week for me, but I still have a few hours to go. Looks like all AI models love purple. I hate it so much. I love purple. Like I was using, and it's funny because your avatar there is purple. I know it's just because you don't have one, but I love purple. But you're right, that uses that. And fortunately, it seems to be getting away from it a little bit. Like Listicle Launcher, it did in what I call mouthwash color. This one it did purple. This one is using my branding from Legit. I purposely told it to do that. This one it did purple. This one it did a kind of a mint green, I guess you would call that. And this one, this is my favorite design as far as the silence. That's why. Oh, gotcha. This is my favorite design that I've gotten from an AI. Why isn't it? Like I think this design looks pretty. I mean, it's still pretty similar in the layout, but I like the color scheme on this. It's kind of a. I don't know what color you would call that, to be honest. That's Gen Spark. Yeah, you're right. It definitely loves purple, and I don't know why. Although I don't know why you hate purple. Purple's the color of royalty. I'm just messing with you. The silence, that's why. Oh, okay, yeah, I got you. Great turnout today, guys. Thank you so much. I get so it's hard to do these with only a few people here because it's just like I don't know. You'll just like lose your interest or whatever. And it's hard for me to stay motivated when there's like only a few people watching. All right. This is taking longer than I expected because, of course, it would when we're doing it live. But I guess this is a fairly complex program that, or SaaS that we're building, at least in terms of what, I mean, considering I basically just typed a few words and it's writing the whole thing for me, which to me is still just amazing. I was talking to someone last night, and I was saying that like because I grew up in the 80s when a lot of what we have take for granted now didn't exist yet, it still amazes me the things that we're capable of doing now. A a a deal, I think, says keep going, Chris. Good work. Thank you, Adil. Alexis says, I hope you do a few more of these calls. This was great. Yeah, I will. I mean, I'm going to be away. Actually, I should go ahead and pimp that while I'm at it. If you are in the Dallas area or can be next week, SEO conference, Rock. Yeah, Rock Stars Conference. I will be speaking along with a bunch of other great folks, including I just learned my co-founder Jim, but I'll be speaking at Dallas at what used to be known as SEO Rock Stars. I think it still is for one more year, along with a bunch of other great folks. If you are interested in that and you would like to get 50% off, slide into my DM and I can get you a discount. But yeah, I'll be speaking at that next week. And then I'm traveling to Vietnam after that for a while. But that'll be a lot of fun. I know all these guys in the top row. I know these two guys. I haven't met Chuck, Charles or Joe. I know these three. I haven't met Joy yet. I've met Nestor and I know Terry a little bit. I don't know Hayden at all. But I'm looking forward to hearing what they all have to say and just having a lot of fun. So if that's something you're interested in and you can make it, just get in there. If not, this is still not done. If not, that's fine. And yes, I will. But yeah, anyway, I will do more of these because, well, I like attention. And this is clearly very popular. All right. Where is it? Build unsuccessful. Try to fix it. Yeah, that happens sometimes. It's usually a TypeScript error when it's right out of the box. Yep. Usually it'll fix it pretty quickly. Nee says you are doing great. Well, thank you, Nee. There we go. Fix your website's SEO issues. And it didn't use purple, much to the delight of Calvin. Ugh, I hate this, but anyway, how it works. Comprehensive SEO check. See, that's not a terrible homepage. So let's start free. Ooh, and this is a different auth page than it usually makes. I like that. So let's create our account. I'm resisting the urge to read my password out loud, which I've learned recently that I do as I type it in. All right, start a new crawl. Let's just do my site, superstarseo.com, and see what happens, because all good plans start with see what happens. Let me move the comments because that's kind of clogging up the screen, and let's see how it does. I have a feeling it's using bullshit data because it didn't give us any It didn't prompt us for any APIs or scrapers or anything like that. And I'm glad that that happened actually, because it gives me a chance to explain to you that these AI coders, these vibe coding tools, will trick you into thinking you have a working app, but it's actually using mock data. And that shit's annoying. So we'll see. But now it's taking some time. So maybe it's using real data. Well, you know what? While it's doing that, let's ask it. What are we using to crawl the site and get the data? Are we using live data or mock data? We're using real live crawling, not mock data. The edge function performs actual HTTP requests. To crawl, here's how it works. Okay. All right. Well, let's see what it returns. We're not using Firecrawl. We might try to use Firecrawl after we see what this returns. It's taking quite a while. I guess it's, oh, here we go. Wow, that looks pretty good. 100 pages crawled, 759 issues, 48 errors, 711 warnings. It's using HTTP fetching, native HTTP fetching. I don't really know what that means, but 74 characters, maybe truncated. Page is missing meta description. I mean, this all looks accurate from what I know of the site. I mean, that's all pretty basic, but you're not going to be able to see this, but yeah, and it gave me a nice, here, let me do this. I'll upload this to a Google sheet, and then we'll see what we can do to improve upon it. But I mean, considering that's from one prompt, that is not a bad looking app. Like, it doesn't really seem to be pulling a ton of it, and it really seems like it just did one. Now that I'm looking at it, it seems like it only did one of the things that we told it to do. And it definitely needs some work, but let me upload the export to Google Drive. One sec. And then what we're going to do is see what we can do to improve upon it. What was it called? Crawl SEO. I put in a Google Sheet version of the export in there. This is a good start, but oh, I see. I didn't even notice that. Headings, links, content. That's interesting. Images. I mean, this is pretty freaking good for a one-shot app. I don't know. What do you guys think? Not bad, right? Do you disagree? Um, hmm. Would I be able to get more in-depth data with fire crawl, or would it be very similar? What I did there was turn on chat mode, so it doesn't actually execute. This helps me like work through my ideas. So we'll see what it says. Excuse me. Cannot see JavaScript rendered content. Regex parsing is fragile. No handling of anti-bot measures. Firecrawl professional. This is above my head, but apparently what it's doing is native HTTP plus regex. I don't understand it either. I'm familiar with those terms. I don't know what they mean. Simple fetch requests to get raw HTML, regex-based parsing to extract title, meta, H1s, etc., but no JavaScript execution. So if we used a more elaborate site, it probably wouldn't work. So what we're probably going to do is switch to Firecrawl. For serious SEO tool, Firecrawl would give significantly better data, especially for modern. Okay. Would you like to create a plan to integrate Firecrawl into the crawler? Yes. Ripon says hello. Hello, Ripon. Whew. So what this is doing now, let me get some water. Excuse me. Is coming up with a plan to use the Firecrawl API. I think it's an API. And what it's going to do is explain everything that it's going to do. And then it's going to ask me to implement the plan. So I'm going to implement the plan. And while we're doing that, we're going to go find my API, Firecrawl API. I use this for one other app, but I don't remember. I don't even remember which one. I'm going to do this off camera. Did I use GitHub? Yeah. All right. Connect to Firecrawl. Add connection. Manage your own credentials. Firecrawl API. Key. Create. Yeah, we'll bring this back on camera so you can see it. If I can figure out how. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yeah, this is Firecrawl. It's just an API or a SEO API crawler thingy. Let me close this. And again, you can kind of watch it do what it's doing. I don't know if that's really helpful, but I don't know. I like to watch it. So now there's not much to do until it finishes. How are they doing in 2 stages? Direct HTTP and regex and fire crawl. And I could do that since this is more of a demo um, on how to do vibe coding. That's kind of don't want to bother with that. But yes, if you were doing this for an actual like live app, you would want to test both to see what gives you the best data. But in my experience, the API will do better. I think Firecrawl is what I'm using in Listicle Hunter to get this information, if I'm not mistaken. I also suspect that we will get some errors the first time we try to use this using Firecrawl. All right, let's give it a shot. New crawl. New crawl. Crawl SEO. Well, this is not encouraging. Refresh. All right. You see, those are the kind of little things you'll have to work out. So let's try it. My guess is we're going to get an edge function error, but we'll see. Start crawl. Whew, been here for an hour and 40 minutes now. Thank you guys for sticking with me. I appreciate you. All right. I don't really have a lot to say. So if you have any questions or comments or thoughts, I'd be happy to entertain them right now because it's weird to sit here in silence. But thank you all for sticking with me. I know this has been a long stream and I know you have lots of things you could be doing with your time. So when you spend it, some of it with me, it's something I will always appreciate. Vibe, I'll be there. Oh, thank you, Mark. I'm such a fucking nerd. Like every time somebody says vibe, I think of Cisco's superhero character from The Flash. Nee says, we appreciate you too. Today's live stream is interesting. Why, thank you, Nee. Nee. So far, this hasn't failed. So that's encouraging. We are here till the end. Thank you, Terry. What's your favorite thing you have built so far? My most successful one. Oh, motherfucker. See, I knew I was going to give it an error. Got an error. Failed to send a request to the edge function. Failed to send a request to the edge function. My most successful thing was Brand Signal AI. It was the first major SaaS that I made. My favorite one though is one of the, and I can't reveal it because it's going to be part of Legit, but the figure out what prompt you should be looking for one. Rate limiting, the Firecrawl is hitting rate limits, logs show connection timeout. before the response was set back. Connection timeout. Reduce initial scope and add rate limit handling. I mean, that's not really what I would do. Better handling. Update fire crawl. Handle async crawl. Polls crawl completion. So expect crawl edge function returns immediately with crawl started. Progress bar shows crawl is running. Background process scrapes pages. Respecting rate limits. Database updates with progress. Front user sees results. Okay, that makes sense. It's kind of a queue system. So we'll implement that. So that's basically going to handle the timeout issue. And that happens a lot when you use APIs and edge functions because they both have different timeout issues or timeout limits, I should say, and it can create issues. So this happens fairly often in different ways, but yeah. Alrighty. So now it's implementing them. Again, you can watch it, like think if you find that to be useful or at least entertaining. Yeah, I'm glad that I think it was Calvin that suggested this. I'm glad you suggested this. This is a neat tool to add to the collection. Once we work through, I think what we're going to do is once we work through this error and get at least one piece of output, we'll publish and then we'll wrap this up because by then we'll be on 2 hours or more. But let me know your feedback. It seems like this has been very well received, but yeah, it's just really the main thing I want you to think about is doing this. Like this is such a huge lever you can pull. And I've made so many things. Let me just do this. Some I never finished, some flopped, some did really well. Some I didn't even make with Lovable. But you can look, I think you can see my whole project slide. Maybe not, I don't know. But like I showed you some of these today. Brand signal is the one that Shannon was asking what. Eldar, what's up, Eldar? Been a while. I love Lovable. There's so many cool stuff you can do. And yes, there is. This one makes me $500-600 a month. Nothing, life changing, but it's pretty good. I could probably sell it if I wanted to. The thumbnail creator, extra content profiler. This one goes out and finds questions that people are asking Google and then creates content based on them. So you can get AI overviews. This one creates content based that structured in a way that AI likes. This one is for reinforcement learning through human feedback. This is just all my AEO tools into one. So is this. I forget what this one it does. Or this one. This one generates cold emails based on copywriting principles. This one was just something I started to replace legit leads, but then never got around to. This one is just kind of a homepage for all of the apps that I built. I don't know what these do. This one extracts the queries that it's sort of similar to LLM links, but what it does is it extracts the queries that the LLMs use rather than the links. this is the one that helps you figure out what prompts you do. I have around 1,500 hours in Lovable over the last several months. It's addicting like crazy. It really is. Questions to, I don't remember. I think that was one that failed. Turn questions into AI powered articles. This is one that I want to integrate with Legit that I can't yet. Description magic. This one writes copy for Legit profile or Legit services. This one I didn't finish. This one is an internal tool to help people write in my voice. Is this ready yet? Okay, so let's try it again. superstarseo.com. And you try it at some point and see if my ideas flop or work. Yeah, I mean, whenever you try something and it flops, you've eliminated one more way that it doesn't work, which means that you've gotten closer to the ways that it does work. Max says, what if I don't want to be in the spotlight and do big marketing? Then don't. And as you can see, it added a progress bar to give us something pretty to look at while it's thinking. You laugh, but that's really important. Oops. So let me see. Copy Magic is really good. Oh, well, thank you. Let me show that one. This is one of the earlier ones I did, but it worked really, really well. It's basically, I initially created this to help people create legit service descriptions, and it works really well. But I also made it to where you can make a Facebook sales post. Let me see if we got time. Yeah, we can do it. What is your service? Guest post links. Who's your ideal customer? An SEO agency that doesn't have the time or money or desire to do guest post outreach, but still needs them. I'm just making this up. Continue. What problems does your service solve? It provides high quality guest post links for SEO agencies that can't do it themselves or don't want to. How does this problem feel for them? Frustrating because they know they need guest posts, but don't have the capability to do it. Again, just making things up. Your solution, how does your service solve this problem? Providing them high quality guest posts at affordable prices. Makes your service different. The links are on real websites that real humans will see and interact with, not link farms. Continue. Do you have proof of success? A client jumped to number one with 3 links in 37 days. Do you have any customer testimonials? Fake SEO agency says they don't trust anyone else with their links. What's your call to action? order now. Just order now is fine. And then click generate copy. I believe this uses Claude to write the copy. I don't remember. It's been a long time. I offer service description writing, and I saw it as competition and never tried it until a few days ago, and I was surprised with it. It's taking longer than usual. Let's see. Almost there. All right, and you can see it generated like an actual sales letter with high converting copy. You can copy the formatting with Google Docs and legit. You can look at the details. You can do it in plain text, preview. So, or you can start over. So, yeah. So that's really that one's completely free. You don't even have to register or log in or anything like that. And that is Copy Magic. .ai. That will eventually be integrated right into Legit as well. All right, we're almost there. Hopefully this doesn't fail because, not going to lie, my voice is getting shot. This one looks awesome. Why, thank you. All right, it's done. And honestly, it doesn't really look, page is missing a meta description. Errors, warnings. This is definitely not bad for, less than an hour of work. Headings. And there was a guy on my Facebook post who was like, you can't make one in an hour. Get fucked. I just did. 1H10 tag per page. And of course, we could go through and build out other things. Page content is identical to 5 other pages. That's because it's looking at like header and footer and templates and stuff. Images, missing alt text. So this is pretty useful, I think. So there you have it. Thank you to Calvin for this idea. This is something, if somebody doesn't want to pay for a Screaming Frog license, I think this is something that can benefit people pretty well. And it only took, less than an hour to build. So now if you wanted to be able to make this accessible, and again, this needs a lot of work still, but I mean, for something that we just did in an hour off the top of Calvin's head, this is pretty impressive, I think. So let's go ahead and click publish. Now, I'm not going to put this on its own unique domain because I don't know if it's something I want to go into production or not. I could though, and you can do that right through Lovable, but you can also just click. Well, first of all, let me figure out something. I like to sync them with GitHub. So I have like version control and backup and things like that. Connect project. Why didn't? And this will allow you to keep a backup, and basically, if you don't know what GitHub is, it doesn't matter. But like, it's basically a code repository, and this will sync your code to GitHub. And then we can click publish. And what this will do is put it on a temporary like Lovable subdomain. And then if you wanted to, you could actually put it onto like your own domain, and Lovable will let you integrate that right through there as well. So. And once this is published, I'll put the link in the chat and we will wrap up. You just shipped. Let's share your project with the world. So this is the URL it gave us. So let's just take a look. You can turn off this little badge, but you can see there it is. You can start for free or you can log in. Let's just log in. I like the auth page. This is the best looking auth page I've seen it build so far. Sign in, and there you have it. So Let me put this in the chat for you. If you want to use it, play around with it, give me feedback, but it's whatever, crawl buddy, something or another. But yeah, there we go. An actual, I mean, it's not nearly as in-depth as Screaming Frog, but considering it's free and we built it in an hour, I think that's fantastic. So let me put myself on camera here. Yeah, it seems like my camera, it's probably because I chose 4K. My camera is lagging a little bit, but anyway, that was what I wanted to show you guys today. I built 7 really cool apps, I guess 8 now in the last month or so. And I didn't do anything fancy, right? I asked Chat GPT to give me a prompt idea, and then I pasted that prompt into Lovable, and I created an app that could be useful. And so think about that anytime you run into something that you do in your business that you wish you had a tool to do it for instead of buying something, unless it's from me. You should buy it. You should just code it yourself. Think about things that, and then once you do that, think about how you could sell that. Sell it for $5-10 a month or $47 one time, whatever it is, you know, and just be creative, have a lot of fun with it. Think big. Okay. There's a lot of different ways that you could apply this and turn this into a business or grow your own business or whatever. So if you enjoyed this, please do me a favor and let's just go subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will do my best to put out, I will do my best to put out as many quality pieces of content and live streams as I possibly can. I love doing live streams. I love hanging out with you guys. So if you could do that, just go to YouTube or just go to chrismwalker.tv. And it'll give you a one-click subscribe option. But I think I would appreciate it if you could do that. If not, that's fine too. So that's it, everybody. I hope you had a lot of fun. I know I did. We've been here for 2 hours, which is just amazing. I don't usually do streams that long, and there's still a good amount of people here. So, all right, enjoy it. Go build some shit because it's one of the most rewarding things you can ever do, both financially and personally. I will see you again very, very soon. If you can come join me in Texas, please do so. If not, that's fine too. Anyway, until next time, figure out what you want out of life. Go out and get it because you owe it to yourself and you owe it to the world to think big and make a difference. I'll see you again soon. Peace.